So I did die or what? Oh no. But I have my helmet on. Yes, but how do I move in space? I don't know. Yes, somehow I'm moving, I think, but I think I fall down into the floor or something. I am not sure. I don't like I have to kill myself. No, this is not space, this is a roof. Yes, I don't understand this because I'm spinning around. I don't understand where I am. Where am I? I think I'm inside the elevator. Okay, we have something here. Yes, I think I have to kill myself. Because I don't understand where I am and how I should get out of here. See, I see that, but I think I'm inside the building somehow. Yes, let's try see my ship. Yes, I'm spinning around. How do can I spin back? Yes. Yes, I see my, this is my ship, just in front of me. And this is the floor. Yes. I think I'm inside the building somehow. I cannot get out. I am inside the objects. I think I have to kill myself. And my helmet unequipped. think I died. Yes, I don't feel, this is how I feel now. Heal, press W. So what now? Yes, I think I have to close and open again. But I should be back on the port OLSR. Yes, sorry, I'm new in the game and it's very confusing. I don't know really what to do, but I'm learning every time I'm online. I'm learning a new bit. I learned something new today, so I know how to roll my spaceship. So I can actually land not upside down anymore. But I should be back on port OLSR, or it will just crash again. Yes, my life in the Star Citizen will be a déjà vu. I will wake up in this depressing tiny room and I will try to escape from this port OLSR space station, and I really never get away. I will always get back. It's like, no, it's not a nightmare. It's a déjà vu of my life. Actually, this is how I wake up every day. Every day is the same in my life. The last many years. So yes, we just try again. We're not giving up. Yes, the show needs to go on. The life needs to get on. Yes. Then I think it's 9:40 p.m. No, it's 7:40 p.m. So I think I will need to have to wait. And I have all this probably very bad idea to run this with 8 browsers open. Yes.
Interacted with them. They fixed EMP audio loops after usage.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Around the Verse. I'm Sandy Gardner.
And I'm Steve Dender.
This week, Jared brings us an all-new ship shape with a big announcement from Drake Interplanetary. And we'll learn about a couple more weapons debuting in Alpha 3.2.
The 3.2.0 patch is now live on the PTU and currently in the capable hands of the Evocati test group. We encourage you to get in.
I think I like to see more gameplay. Yes, that's the freelancer, and the freelancer duo I will watch next. You can watch that.
Still going to be one of the largest ships that can still fit into one of the smallest jump points. But since that aspect of gameplay is yet to be fully worked out, that may not still be true, or it may only end up applying to the standard freelancer. The cockpit and living quarters of the Max are the same as you'll find in any of the other freelancer variants. It has 4 stations for the crew, 4 beds to accommodate them, a food prep area, a bathroom shower combo, an extra engineering station, and a side door that can be used to exit the ship.
Yes, I was thinking to buy this one, but I need to look my upload YouTube, so I can watch a little bit of this.
1.4 to prepare for the upcoming release.
Now, before we get down to guns and ships, let's see what's been going on in development in our weekly PU project update. Ricky, take it away.
Welcome back to another Persistent Universe project update. Let's take it to the roadmap. Starting with characters, we can see how some of our mission givers have evolved from concept renderings and early models. We've seen a lot of Battaglia over the past few weeks. Although her animations are still being polished, it's great to see her coming to life. Brunt's current version has a different look to the concept, but his uncompromising attitude certainly stays the same. The last character for today is our pal Klim, whose dialogue and animations are being fine-tuned and tested. Before we move on to mining, let's take a look at a few colours being considered for the updated RSI flight suits. The idea is to find something that really fits a particular piece and its lore, rather than just adding variation for the sake of it. Testing is ramping up on the scanning and radar feature you'll use when mining, and the feature teams are still working out the look of the grid and the size of the blobs. We've come a long way since last week's look, but there are things to work out to make sure it works in a fun and intuitive way. Testing also continues on how rock and other mineable assets spawn. You'll be digging up planets in no time at this rate. The audio team is still fine-tuning sound cues and effects to really bring the mining mechanic to life. Check out this new and improved take on the laser audio. And this recent test on the sound effects associated with the tractor beam. As you can tell, balancing the sound of the beam itself with the friction of the rocks is key to enhancing the experience. Work on item kiosks resumes, with branding and UI integration getting really close to completion. It's great news, as these are the first steps towards making it possible to buy ships and their components in-game. Development on quantum linking is making significant progress, so it won't be long until you can quickly cross the gaps between worlds to engage in jolly cooperation. Work has progressed on a new mission type, where we effectively set out to blow stuff up. The target in this concept is the first prop we built using the new ship pipeline. Moving on to ships, we start with the Aegis Hammerhead. Its materials and lighting have been tweaked, while a sharp new colour palette hammers home its more progressive personality. Interior work is coming along nicely, as we can see from these shots of the corridors. The Anvil Hurricane isn't far away, now that it's reached its final art phase. The same goes with the rework on the Consolidated Outlands Mustang. Here we can see a few improvements on what we saw in the last PU update. General thruster animation and behaviour are getting a spot of attention too, and are looking super sharp, as you can see in this flight test.
Yes.
Finally,
Upload still
further look
running.
at these firing archery are doing 100
And I'm out of space on my hard drive, so this is the last one I can record.
and lighting. Here's the latest from the city of Lawville. You can see how the worn industrial feel of this long-suffering city hints at its history and the bubbling unrest within. Keep an eye out to see how the city plays into the lore of Hurston Dynamics and the rest of the universe. And with that, another weekly update comes to a close. We'll be back next week with further updates. Until then, back to you guys in the studio.
Informative as always. Thank you, Ricky.
Last week, we went in-depth on the Gemini F-55 and the Demeco from Klaus and Werner. 2 of 4 new weapons coming to the PU with Alpha 3.2.
That's right. Now let's take a look at the other 2 guns coming soon to Star Citizen in this week's feature.
The Scalpel. This is the crazy, outrageous cast-stack sniper rifle. I always like cast-stack stuff because it's always been portrayed as the pirate's choice.
Quite specific to that manufacturer is also like a lot of external exposed mechanical mechanisms and pistons and stuff like that.
I always imagine it, even if the gun stopped working, you would just do as much damage with clubbing someone with one of these things. You can imagine it sort of being made by like a team of guys in a back room kind of thing. You know, they're at the opposite end of the spectrum. In visuals, for me, compared to like the Gemini, but they're always really fun.
So something that makes the Scalpel unique is that it features 2 very large barrels. This is somewhat similar to repeater ship weapons, so we could draw a little bit of experience from there in creating these.
The cast-stack arms Scalpel will be the second sniper rifle we'll be putting out in the game. First one being the Klaus and Werner Arrowhead, which is quite a
very good object.
laser sniper
That's
rifle.
but not easy
Again,
to
wanted
make.
Play around with the idea of
Look
what we could
super
do,
real.
how we could make it quite mechanical. Because if you looked at the Devastator, there's a lot.
I don't have a weapon in the game.
Shotgun, there's all these flaps that are opening and closing and things like that. We looked at making it a bolt-action sniper rifle, kind of a bit more of an archaic design that you might not think would appear like in the far-flung future, but it really fit the kind of idea of the notes we wanted to hit with this company and the sniper rifle we were making. Another thing in games and in reality, you see a lot of double-barrel shotguns and things like that, and even some of our ship weapons, we've got multi-barrel repeaters and things, and we wanted to play with the idea of how a double-barrel sniper would look. We played around with the idea of it having single shots, so you can fire off 1 shot at a time, 1 in each barrel, then you can cycle. You get 2 shots out of that. And then we also wanted to look at a burst fire mode, so a bit more of an aggressive kind of like all-in-one, kind of like all eggs in one basket kind of shot, like from firing 2 sniper bullets at once. It's got enormous amounts of stopping power, but if you miss, you're burning through your ammo much quicker. But less accurate in the burst fire mode, just because there's a slight offset between, rather than both bullets coming out at once, you've got a slight offset from the recoil.
You've also got this recoil.
Yes. Watch a little bit of this later.
So you've got these 2 pistons. I mean, they're kind of ridiculous. I mean, I know that. But it just looks super cool. You can deliver.
Let's look Freelancer Max, and I would like to the Freelancer Duo, the Expedition.
Enclosed area that has airlocks on either side and a docking collar located in the ceiling. A small amount of cargo can also be stored in this. I'm Law of the West, and in this video I'm going to be taking a look at the Freelancer Max, which is a medium freight carrying variant of the Freelancer series.
But go and look the videos.
Taking a look at the physical differences that exist between it and the other Freelancers. I'll also be going over the Max's performance, weapons loadouts, and checking out whether or not it can carry any vehicles, and if so, which ones and how many of each. The Max boasts an impressive cargo carrying capacity of 122
Yes, this is the
SCUs,
YouTuber
which is very good for a ship of its
Law of
size.
the West Gaming.
And being a freelancer, it's still going to be one of the
But I'm not
largest ships that can
subscribing
still fit into
everybody
one of the
because I
smallest
don't
jump
want to get
points.
too many.
But since that
I
aspect
get
of
an
gameplay is
email
yet to be
every. I
fully
don't want
worked
to
out,
get too
that
many,
might not
like
still be
hundreds.
true, or it may only end up applying to the
Then I
standard
will never
freelancer.
see anything.
The cockpit and living quarters of the Max are the same as you'll find in any of the other freelancer variants. It has 4 stations for the crew, 4 beds to accommodate them, a food prep area, a bathroom shower combo, an extra engineering station, and a side door that can be used to exit the ship. It also has a small enclosed area that has airlocks on either side and a docking collar located in the ceiling. A small amount of cargo can also be stored in this area. The real difference between this ship and the other freelancers is its cargo hold. The back of the Max is the equivalent of 2 standard freelancer hulls that have been welded together at the sides. Another unique difference with the Max is its loadout. It comes equipped with 4 OmniSky Type 9 laser autocannons that are connected to a turret mount, which makes them inherently gimbaled and slave to the pilot's control. Each of them are size 3 weapons, giving you the collective firepower of a saber with a fixed loadout, but with gimbaling added to them as well. The rear turrets are equipped with DR model XJ2s, which are distortion repeaters. Mounting distortion-based weapons onto the rear turret was a great loadout decision on their part. Mainly this is because the standard Freelancer's rear guns didn't provide much of a deterrent for pursuing attackers in the past. But now that you have the ability to knock their shields out, pursuers are going to be more likely to think twice before pressing the attack, especially after their own defenses have been rendered useless. It also comes stocked with 4 size 3 missiles and 4 size 2s. The ship is surprisingly responsive and handles a lot better than I expected. It also strafes and accelerates rather quickly for a freelancer. It does have a significantly higher amount of mass than a standard freelancer does, but it also has double the number of engines. I was hoping that all that extra power that it used for hauling would translate into a faster top speed and better maneuvering when it was being flown without any cargo to weigh it down. And I'm happy to see that that's the case. And lastly, I know this is a question that's on most people's minds, and that's what kinds of vehicles are going to be able to be transported by it. When I first looked into the wide open expanse of the Max's cargo bay, I envisioned it rivaling the Valkyrie when it comes to acting as a Cyclone transport. But in reality, it's limited to carrying 2 Cyclones. The 2 Cyclones will fit rather comfortably inside, but no amount of finagling is going to get any more in there. You can get a TR in as well, which is the variant that has a turret mounted on the back, so it does require a taller opening than a regular Cyclone does to fit inside some ships. But you have to get that mounted gun lined up just so that it fits in between the struts of the Max's turret as you enter and exit. Getting in isn't that bad, but getting out can end up being a lot more difficult. A rover is right out of the question, and I didn't bother experimenting with the Gravlev bikes or the Grey Cat since they can already fit inside of a standard freelancer. But it'll be fun to try and see how many of each you can fit inside of the Max at once. Just for science, I tried to also get a Razor inside of the cargo area of the Max. It doesn't fit in all the way because of the tail fins. You could manage to get it inside, but it'd be difficult even under ideal conditions and will most likely end up causing some damage to both the Max and the Razor in the process. Bottom line is, you could get one in, but it's not recommended. Overall, the Max is going to be an ideal choice for someone who sees the value in flying a medium-sized versatile ship, but still wants to maximize the amount of cargo they can haul in the process. It's designed to be fuel efficient and dependable. So far, the only medium-sized ship that could outperform the Max when it comes to raw hauling capacity is the Hull B, but it sacrifices nearly everything else to accomplish this. So unlike the Hull B, the Max carries all of its cargo internally. It's much more nimble for its size. It has the ability to transport some vehicles along with it. It has a rear turret. It has accommodations for a much larger crew. It can carry missiles, and it has a superior number of weapon hardpoints. Now that's going to be it for this look at the Freelancer Max. Thanks for watching, and take care.
I think I buy this, but that's $200.